Situated near the city of Mammoth Lakes in the United States, Horseshoe Lake is a popular tourist destination with many recreational opportunities for visitors, but it has dangerous secrets. The entire city was built upon an active volcano. This was thought to be a reasonable decision until scientists started to notice that the trees around the lake were shriveling up and dying. They traced this to high levels of carbon dioxide escaping through the earth from subsurface chambers of cooling magma. Also, there are high levels of toxic carbon dioxide and hydrogen sulfide in the surrounding soil, posing a threat to humans. Labelled as the lake that turns animals into stone, Lake Natron in Tanzania is a red water lake with high alkalinity, enough to harden animals and even humans into stone. Its deep red colour of the salt crust over the lake comes from salt-loving cyanobacteria that thrive there. Touching the water can burn the skin and eyes due to its high caustic levels, and nobody would even attempt to swim in this lake. Lake Natron's alkalinity can reach as high as 12, with high levels of evaporation too, similar to ammonia or bleach. Despite the lake's inhospitable environment for animals, Lake Natron is the only home to over 2.5 million small flamingos, its caustic saline water supporting their survival. Lake Munon in Cameroon is the first of 3 deadly lakes known to be saturated with carbon dioxide. This lake literally exploded in the year 1984, resulting in the release of a large amount of carbon dioxide, which resulted in the death of 37 people. Like 2 other exploding lakes, under the right conditions for a limnic eruption, Lake Munon could cause a lethal fog-like cloud of carbon dioxide, killing everything and everyone in its path. In 1986, Lake Nyos, located in Cameroon, suddenly emitted a large cloud of carbon dioxide which suffocated over 1,700 people and 3,500 livestock in nearby towns and villages. The tragedy was recorded as the first large-scale asphyxiation caused by a natural event. As one of 3 lakes prone to explosion, there is a pocket of magma sitting beneath the lake which leaks carbon dioxide into the water, transforming it into carbonic acid. Even though efforts have been made to prevent a future disaster, there remains fears that the weakened walls surrounding the lake could collapse, allowing the escape of vast amounts of carbon dioxide into downstream villages. Lake Kivu is the largest lake in Rwanda. Despite its popularity as a top vacation spot for its scenic beauty and breathtaking landscapes, Lake Kivu is a major catastrophe waiting to happen. The lake has the potential to explosively release dangerous gases in a limnic eruption, capable of suffocating all the inhabitants by the lake shore. Being the largest of 3 deadliest exploding lakes in the world, Lake Kivu holds 16 cubic miles of carbon dioxide and 16 cubic miles of methane at the bottom of the lake. An earthquake or volcanic activity could trigger the release of these dangerous gases, threatening the lives of the 2 million people who live close by. Described as the most polluted spot on Earth by the World Watch Institute, Lake Karachay is a small lake located in the southern Ural Mountains in Russia. Pollution of Lake Karachay is linked to the dumping of nuclear materials from Mayak. There are an estimated 120 million curries of radioactive waste in Lake Karachay. It is so dangerous that staying out on the lake for just 30 minutes exposes you to a lethal dose of radiation that could lead to death. Even the surrounding areas are so highly contaminated with radioactive waste that people merely standing by its shoreline may well not be spared from its deadly effect. As its name suggests, this is not a lake you would want to dive into for a swim, as it can burn you alive. With bubbling greyish-blue water that is usually enveloped in a cloud of steam, the boiling lake located on the Caribbean island of Dominica looks like a giant pot of water cooking and steaming on a stove. Its water temperature along the edges of the lake range from 82 to 92 degrees Celsius. It is so dangerous that no scientist has been able to measure the temperature at its centre where the lake is actively boiling. The surrounding area is steamy and hot with a sharp, acrid smell of sulphur. In the year 1900, 2 hikers died at the boiling lake after being asphyxiated by a sudden release of volcanic gas, killing them in minutes. One of the 5 Great Lakes of North America, Lake Michigan has the most recorded drownings per year among the Great Lakes. It is renowned for huge undercurrents and extremely high water levels that are potentially fatal to anyone who attempts to swim in the lake. Lake Michigan has an unusual shape that results in deadly rip currents magnified by the piers and docks. These spontaneous currents carry people far from the shoreline and are responsible for the loss of many lives every year. The months of October and November are especially dangerous because of the increasing intensity of current and waves. But despite the dangers, Lake Michigan remains a top vacation spot for many visitors, and the number of deaths continues to rise every year.